This episode of the Beauty Industry podcast was brought to you by Alma Lasers. Hello and welcome to the Beauty Industry podcast, your online support community for the professional beauty industry. I am your host, founding director of Beauty Industry, Tamara Reid. Here we are closing the competitive gap and speaking your language. This is a platform created and dedicated to the professional beauty industry, valuing community over competition. We serve to help connect you with inspiration from industry experts, expand your knowledge through educational pieces, and bring you the latest in product and technology innovation. This is Beauty Industry. Today my guest is Tiarnna Smith from Alma Lasers. Tiarnna is a biomedical engineer with a postgraduate degree in human nutrition and a keen interest in lasers and holistic skin health. At Alma Lasers, she heads the education and clinical training across the surgical, medical aesthetic and beauty divisions with a strong focus on laser safety. Tiarnna provides ongoing support for clients when they purchase the device, from training to answering clinical inquiries. Tiarnna helps all of her clients become confident and competent when they start using their device. Today we explore the versatility of multi-combination technology, chat about the multitasking machine that treats upwards of 70 different client concerns, and also touch on a brand new service for treating acne which combines laser and vacuum suction. Here's Tiarnna and I for Beauty Industry. Tiarnna, welcome to the Beauty Industry podcast.
Thank you so much for having me here, Tamara. I am excited.
Yeah, likewise. Nothing like recording a podcast to, get those lockdown blues away. Although, are you in Sydney or are you in Melbourne?
I am in Sydney. So today is the second day out of lockdown. So it's pretty exciting here.
Freedom. Oh, I'm so excited for you guys and our industry. It feels like we've had such a rough 2 years. And I'm just so excited to kind of see everyone coming back up and our devices are getting turned on and warmed up and they're in use. So there's nothing better, right?
Me too, absolutely. The roadmap out of this, the light at the end of the tunnel is bright. So I'm very, very pleased about that.
Absolutely. Now, we are going to talk all things lasers today, and particularly about combining our multi-use machinery. But in case you didn't know, we actually start all of our episodes right back at our guest interviewer's career. And so I'd love to start with you there today. How did you get attracted to the beauty and personal care and aesthetics industry? What kind of made you go, all right, that's where I want to pursue my career?
Absolutely. So I took a little bit of a different path to get here. I started my career actually as a medical engineer. I worked in prosthetics and biomaterials, and it was fantastic. I really enjoyed all the principles in that. However, you very rarely get to see the end product, the end result in that industry. So I thought I would try my hand at something a little bit different, take a bit of a sidestep more so. And that's how I found myself here with Alma Lasers. And it is incredible. It's something that I am very passionate about, something that I really love doing. And it allows me to take a lot of the knowledge that I've gained from my career and apply it just in a slightly different field.
Yeah, I feel like the beauty and personal care and aesthetics industry is actually so versatile, and I feel like more and more these days we're developing these roles that have never been before. We can kind of forge our own career path, if you like, across so many different verticals of the industry, like laser, for example, education, coaching, marketing. Our industry just keeps on evolving and it's so exciting.
Absolutely. It's never ending. And there is so much science and physics and so much anatomy and biochemistry that goes into lasers that makes it just so fascinating and endless.
Yeah. I want to ask you, has the industry surprised you, coming externally and now you're in it, the amount of science and chemistry and the level of detail that we actually do know?
Absolutely. I never knew before I started in this industry that it was so involved and so technical. But that's what makes a great clinician, a great doctor, a great therapist, having all that background information and knowledge, and then being able to apply that on an individual case by case basis.
Absolutely. So tell me, with your role at Alma, what do you actually do on a day-to-day basis? What is, a normal day in the life of Tiarnna?
Every day is a little bit different. My role here at Alma Lasers Australia as the clinical application specialist means that I train all of our clients on all of our beauty, medical, aesthetic, and surgical devices. So once they purchase from us, they're never left to feel alone. I make sure that they are comfortable, competent, they know how to use the device purposefully, and they can apply that to their clients. So my main role here is education and training. On top of training clients, we offer webinars, which I create and host. We are always creating more educational content, user meetings, all of that. So anything in the education sphere here at Alma, that's what I'm responsible for.
Oh, very cool. Such a cool role. And it feels like so much diversity as well. Sometimes we get very robotic in our roles, but it feels like there's no such thing as 2 days the same over in your role.
You never know what the day is going to throw at you. Never. You've always got a plan of what your day is going to look like when you walk into work, and then it ends up being very, very different by the time you leave. But that's what I love. Keeps you on your toes, keeps you interested.
Absolutely. Now, when I was looking into Alma, I actually realized that you guys have the largest portfolio of products and machines in Australia, which is very cool. I had no idea about that. But with so much choice out there, I'm wondering where one starts when they're looking for technology, because scrolling on, the website and things like that, you go, oh my goodness, I want one of everything. But, I always consistently drill down, like find your specialty, find your niche. So what's your advice there? Where do we even begin when we're looking for a device?
Absolutely. It is so overwhelming when there are all these fantastic pieces of technology. I think my first piece of advice is go with a trusted and reputable company. That's really important. Someone that can offer an entire package, not just a wonderful device. There's so much more that goes into it, such as service, training, marketing, business planning. You really need a technology company that can offer a holistic approach for your business. And my second, I guess, tip would be recommendations. There's lots of fantastic resources out there. There's a wonderful community that you have built where you can ask for insights. So I always recommend asking friends, colleagues for their recommendations, because you can usually find some gold in there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting that you say there to speak to, the marketing and the business planning, and you wrap that in a holistic approach, because I think sometimes us as business owners and even therapists per se don't really utilize the full offering suite that comes with something like a device. We go, okay, we'll buy the device, we put it in the treatment room, we learn how to use it, we utilize the education, and then we kind of stop from there. But when we're doing things like social media or our menus or promos or even just EDMs and email marketing, like there is so much that I find businesses like Alma's, for example, have in their, in their back bar of things that they can give, but the business owner actually isn't utilizing them. So I really like that you speak to, that business support and the marketing resources there.
It's so important. There's so much more, like you said, than just getting a device and using it. There is a whole host of factors that go into utilizing it to the best of its ability. And, that's what Alma is about here in Australia. We're not just about the clinical side. We are about seeing your business thrive from all aspects.
Yeah, totally. And also I really appreciate that you've said there, get recommendations. I think in this industry, we really, really qualify who we bring in terms of staff and team. We might have a phone interview. We might then have a Zoom interview these days, and then have a group interview, and we go down the reference path. I hope most people go down the reference path, but sometimes it feels like when we're onboarding something like a product or a machinery or device into our clinic, we just go, okay, yep, done. And I think that, as you said, word of mouth is absolute gold. And that's what we should be asking people. Can you give me other customers who have purchased this device? What will they say about the machine? And do some more research and really qualify that purchase.
100%. And, we have some fantastic KOLs that have worked with Alma for a very long time. And they are always so happy to talk to any new potential clients about their devices, how they use them in the clinic, the profitability of those devices in the clinic, and why they chose us. So recommendations are super important.
Yeah. And I love that these days the industry and people in our industry are willing to share. I think like 5-10 years ago, prior to Beauté, it was like, oh no, I don't want to tell them about which machine that I've got because they're going to copy it. Whereas now, as you said, we've got those key people who are using the machinery, who are happy to say, yes, do it this way. I do it this way. You're over the other side of the city or even in another state. I know you're not going to steal my clients. It's fine. I'm happy to share that knowledge. So I really love that.
Oh, sharing knowledge is just so invaluable. And like you said, it's not about the competition. If one state versus the other, of course, they're not going to steal clients and whatnot.
Yeah, totally. So I want to ask you, is there a benefit to buying a multi-combination device? Because sometimes we feel like if one device does one thing, it does it really well, whereas you can be kind of the master of trades and jack of none. Or what is it? No, the jack of all trades, master of none, right? So, is there a benefit when it comes to lasers and devices to actually get something that does more than just one benefit, for example?
Yeah, absolutely. The main benefit from a business perspective is about the capital. So if you purchase a device, a multimodality device that affords you the ability to treat multiple indications, your outward capital is much less in comparison to if you just buy one device for each indication. The other benefit is that it's all on the one platform. So you become really familiar with that platform and you can master that platform rather than having to master 5 or 6 different devices.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for our therapists and estheticians and, practitioners out there is so much to remember. We've got to learn more than one product range, which has, upwards of 10 to sometimes 20, even 30 SKUs in that range. We have to know the settings and the clinical endpoints and how the skin's responding, the client's history, all of these types of things. So to add on layers and layers and layers of machinery can sometimes feel quite overwhelming. And, to really just strip it back and have one or two or, a few devices that have multi-use, for me, feels like a much better use of brain space, than all of that overwhelm that can be.
Absolutely. I have so much respect for therapists and device-based technology users. They have to remember so much and they're on the spot. It's not like they can refer back to their notes when a client asks them a question. So I think that is a huge benefit of a multimodality system, as well as, you have one contact or one company that you have to contact, and it just makes the administration process a lot easier as well.
Absolutely. After the break, we hear all about the new device which treats not one but 70 client concerns. But first, just a little bit about Alma Lasers, which you might not know. Alma is a world-leading innovator of energy-based surgical and medical aesthetic devices. Alma has redefined the medical aesthetic field by challenging the status quo with their unique thinking. Their success is backed by their academic, diverse, and creative team that continuously delivers world-class devices and services, making them one of the top 3 laser and medical aesthetic companies in the world. Alma specializes in a vast range of indications, including pigmentation, scars, skin rejuvenation, vascular lesions, hydrodermabrasion, body and face contouring, cellulite, stretch marks, and hair removal. Alma's 3 pillars of operation, beauty, and medical aesthetic and surgical mean they can help you with all of your energy-based device needs. Alma Laser is offering all of our beauty industry podcast listeners an amazing 50% off their laser safety course. Yes, you heard that correct. That's 50% off, which is huge. Simply head over to www.almalasers.com.au/laser safety theory course, or you can swipe up and click the link to head on over to the website, and make sure you enter the Beauty Industry Podcast in the How Did You Hear About Us section to register. Thank you so much to the team at Alma Lasers for making this episode of the Beauty Industry Podcast possible. And now back to Tiarnna. I'm curious though, would there be any reason as to why a single modality device would actually be better suited over one that has multiple modalities?
I guess this comes down to the individual clinic's needs. If, for example, we have clients who only want to do hair removal and that is their specialty. And so as a result, they have purchased an only hair removal device from us. So I think it depends on one, what you want to accomplish, and two, also the capital that you want to initially outlay, because typically like single, I guess, indication devices can come at a lower initial cost.
Yeah. Interesting. And I guess this is why as well, we should always be thinking inwardly about our business. I know a lot of business owners have conversations with me and they compare themselves to other business owners, but you really can't, because you might be doing a whole menu suite of treatments and treating different conditions, whereas the business across the road that you're comparing yourself to, or the one that you see on the shiny glossy Instagram platform, is a completely different business model to yours. So when we're thinking about onboarding a device, we really should be thinking about our clients, our team, our business, and the skins that we're treating.
Absolutely. And I think that's really important when you're selecting a device as well, to choose a company that is going to align with your needs and your values, rather than just trying to sell you whatever device that they may have. So it's really important that the people you liaise with when wanting to introduce a new piece of technology or product really listens to you and takes your feedback on board.
Absolutely. Now, I was reading that the Harmony XL Pro can treat upwards of 70 indications, which is so damn impressive. Is there, such a versatile device that is suitable for beginners? Or with so much choice, is it better suited to somebody who is more intermediate or advanced?
That's a great question. With 70 FDA cleared indications, it can seem really overwhelming, but this kind of links back to what we were just talking about. With the Harmony, it's the one platform and there's multiple applicators that you can add. A business doesn't need all of the applicators. So when someone comes to us wanting to purchase the Harmony or any of our other systems, we really tailor the package to their needs. With the Harmony, I've trained all kind of demographics on the Harmony. I've trained people who it's the first laser or device company or clinic that they've opened, and they're brand new to this industry, and they pick up the concepts really, really well. So in that kind of an instance, we start with the basic training initially, and then we come back and do more advanced revision training as to not overload staff with too much information on the one day. On the flip side of that, however, we have a lot of dermatologists who've been using lasers for 20, 30 years. And I also train them in the Harmony. So it's very versatile based on your skill level. And I provide all of the training so that even if you are brand new at this, you don't feel like that. The clients don't feel like you're brand new. And you always have me to lean on for support throughout your journey as well.
Amazing. And I guess they can start slow, like anything. You don't have to go bang, first day, here's 70 indications. Let's learn how to treat them all. You can start off mastering something, really get good at your craft, feel confident in that, and then go, okay, now I'm going to layer this on learning another indication.
Exactly. Work their way up to more advanced protocols, treatments, all of that. 100%.
Yes. Now, I want to talk about the Harmony depth control capability because this actually allows the practitioners to control the precise depth of the treatment, which I've actually not heard before. Why are these parameters so beneficial to the treatment and how do they work?
Great question. So, the depth control is a feature in our clear lift, which is a handpiece that you can attach to the Harmony. And our clear lift is a Q switch laser. So, it means that it operates at a nanosecond pulse, and a nanosecond pulse is a millionth of a second. So, it's quite a quick firing time. Now, with Q switch lasers, you generate a photoacoustic as well as a photothermal result. This depth control, it allows us to target 5 different depths within the epidermis and the dermis. So we can penetrate from 3,000 microns all the way up to as superficial as about 50 microns. Now, when we are looking at that real superficial penetration, we're targeting things like indications like sun damage, globalized pigment, for example. Because it's quite superficial, we generate more of that photoacoustic effect, so more of that pigment shattering, hence why it's suitable for pigmentation. On the flip side of that, when we penetrate a bit deeper using the deeper depth controls, we're targeting collagen and elastin remodeling. So we're penetrating down to the reticular dermis to target indications like fine lines, wrinkles, skin laxity. We see that our clients with this depth control get best results when they combine a number of the depths in the one treatment. So with a lot of people that currently use the clear lift, 3D, 4D, 5D facials, for example, are really, really common treatments that they offer in their clinics for a more holistic approach. So you can target your anti-aging as well as your tone all in one. I like to call it the 3 Ts: tone, texture, tightening, all in the one treatment.
Yes. Well, I was just going to ask you about combining depth in the treatment because I wanted to know, is that a possibility? And then you said 3D, 4D, 5D facial. Like this sounds like such a cool thing. And I'm thinking marketing, come and get your 5D facial. I mean, I would be in there yesterday. Talk to me about more about that. I mean, tone, texture, and was it tightness, the third T?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I love this. So how would one talk about this in terms of, encouraging their client in for a treatment like this?
Yes. So, from your client's perspective, they can get almost everything they want in the one treatment. Your 3 Ts with the 5D facial, that essentially just means that we can target 5 depths in the one treatment. So we use all 5 of those depth controls in the one treatment, starting off deep, working our way up to superficial. So you get a more all-encompassing result. So for example, your client, if they have, and people have multiple concerns and indications that they usually want targeted, so you can do wrinkles, fine lines, texture, and globalized pigment all in the one. So they don't have to come in for, let's say, an IPL 1 week and then a vascular treatment the next week, the next fortnight, and then maybe a collagen production treatment in 4 weeks' time. They can have it all in one. And that's what we are seeing clients tend towards now. They want it all now. They want no pain, they want minimal downtime, and they want it as quick as possible. And that is what the Clear Lift can offer. It's a very popular treatment in the US, and it's heralded as a non-surgical lunchtime facelift.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Even I'm just thinking about the different layers of concerns that I have. I think I've been on back-to-back Zoom calls for like the last 2 years, right? So I'm sitting here staring at my face all day long. And I'm just thinking with this kind of 3D, 4D, 5D, like you can treat in the one treatment the superficial pigment that's clearly, sun damage and obviously like now infrared induced. Then you can go down to the vascular level. Then you can go down to the kind of deeper dermal pigment level, and then also treat the aging at the same time. So, very timely that we're coming out of, this pandemic and clients are wanting treatments so fast. Our wait lists are, beyond packed. And so rather than telling your client, oh, let's treat this today, let's come back in a fortnight and do this, and then let's come back in a subsequent fortnight and do this, we can kind of get all of that in one treatment, in one session time.
Exactly. And that's a fantastic point you make, Tamara. It does free up your books to see more clients, to increase your revenue with the Clearlift because you can target it all at once.
Yes, yes, and something that a lot of business owners are saying to me, Tamara, how do we get new clients on our books? How do we get new clients through our doors? And I always go back, and this is a conversation we had with Vanessa McDonald on client retention just the other week, is that you have a database full of all of these contacts that if you actually nurtured them and got them in to spend more per hour, and that's how we do that with multimodality devices like this. So instead of just having one laser where I can treat this really superficial pigment and it's this insert price, we can go, okay, let's layer this and this and this and this, increase your average basket size per client. You're seeing less clients, more revenue. We love that.
Absolutely. And a lot of our clients that actually use the Clearlift, their Clearlift clients are mostly word of mouth. So their clients see fantastic results and they see a holistic treatment. They see this magical, wonderful device that treats everything that they could possibly want. And then they tell their friends and their friends come in and the cycle continues.
Yes, I love it. I love it so much. Now, talking about multi-use devices, we need to talk about your new acne treatment because this combines laser with vacuum technology. And I've actually never heard anything like this before. Give me the deep dive. What do we need to know?
So you've never heard anything like this before because we are the first who has done something like this. So our new acne treatment on the Harmony is using a Clear Skin Pro handpiece. Now this handpiece operates at 1540 nanometers, which means that it has a really high absorption in water. So with acne, the sebaceous gland and where the bacteria, the P. acnes bacteria actually proliferates is quite deep. It's at your dermal level. It's about 1,000 microns below the epidermis. Traditionally, we've used things like UV light or maybe even LED light, for example. However, these don't always penetrate as deep as you need them to be. Spacious gland, where the bacteria proliferates, is quite deep. So the 1540 nanometer Clear Skin Pro on the Harmony, it offers a 1540 nanometer wavelength with the combined vacuum, like you said. Now, the benefit of the vacuum is that it actually suctions the lesion closer to the point of emission, which means we can penetrate deeper. The other really nice feature on it is it has a really strong contact cooling. So we can actually use a higher fluence in combination with this contact cooling and not cause any epidermal necrosis. By using a higher fluence, we also generate this deeper penetration. So it's a bit of a dual effect between the vacuum and the strong epidermal cooling that allows us to penetrate where we need to essentially to achieve those results.
Yeah, yeah. And when we talk about acne, we always talk about circulating that skin, with oxygen and bringing those nutrients and vitamins that the blood contains up to the surface. So if you're lasering and kind of diminishing the P. acne bacteria, then combining that with that vacuum suction, you are bringing all of that blood, you're circulating the skin. It kind of just feels like a winning combination to me.
It is. We have some fantastic clinical studies on that, comparing the Clear Skin Pro with other current and common acne modalities, light and laser-based modalities, that is. And we see wonderful results. People are seeing results in 2-3 sessions. It's a great low tox option as well. People tend to be steering away from things like Roaccutane and the contraceptive pill these days to target acne, and they want something a little bit more natural. So that is a great solution for your clients.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think anything that is a quick win right now, we are going into the busy season. It is, what the world is unlocking. We're about to have more parties and, Christmas is coming and obviously New Year's and things like that. Like we don't typically have that 6-month, 12-month time that we have had in the past to get our brides ready, to get our skin summer ready, So we've only got this really small window, which we need to activate as quick as possible to get our clients the best results as possible. So if we can get that really quick win and get our clients, as I said, that glowing skin, clearing the acne in that that shorter treatment time frame, then our clients are going to be so much happier with us. They're going to book more treatments because they've already cleared that concern.
Totally. And, with all this mask wearing with the pandemic as well, we're seeing an increase in acne, or maskne, should I say. So these treatments are going to be really, really popular when people are out of lockdown and mask wearing has been, abolished. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm going to ask you a tricky question because I'm assuming that this will be like, understanding or choosing your favorite child. But what's your favorite piece of technology?
Oh, you are so right. That is a very difficult question. My favorite piece of technology, I have two. I don't know if I can narrow it down. They're both on the Harmony. My first one would be the Clear Lift, the Q switch laser we were talking about before. And that's just because it does everything. It makes your skin glow. It helps fine lines, wrinkles. Like if you want to be, and the party season is coming up, it helps you prepare for that. It gives you that like red carpet ready glow that all of our clients want. My second favorite would have to be our vascular long pulse laser on the Harmony. I love performing vascular treatments with the Harmony, especially with the long pulse, because you just see lesions disappear before your eyes. And it is such instant gratification for the client, but also for the therapist.
What are you looking forward to, Tiarnna, coming out of lockdown and the world opening up again? And, I feel like we're all just going to be so ready to pop the champagne on New Year's Eve and say goodbye to 2021 and head into the new year. Is there anything technology-wise, device-wise, industry-wise that you're excited for?
I'm really excited, to be honest, to get back into clinics and train our clients. I haven't been able to be face-to-face and see people in 3-4 months. So I'm really excited for that aspect, to actually put my hands on some devices. And like you said, maybe a bottle of champagne and New Year's and Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very cool. Can't wait to get out and have some treatments with these devices. Thank you so much for coming and having a chat with me today.
Thank you so much, Tamara. It was my pleasure.
Well, there's nothing quite like the excitement of new devices and traditional devices that can treat a multitude of concerns and conditions. I certainly know our clients are banging down our treatment room doors at the moment, which we are hearing lots of over in the beauty industry Facebook community, which is just so divine to see you all thriving and being busy bees out there. And hey, perhaps you'll give your clients' treatment pathway a second thought as to how you can treat after listening to this episode and start to see an increase of results in no time. As always, jump on over into any of our channels, website, podcast app, or social media to leave us a review and tell us what you think about the podcast. And as always, to suggest who and what you want to hear from next. Thank you so much for your continued support. Until next time, stay connected.